I overheard my wife telling her therapist that she never loved me. Now I'm rebuilding it alone. I've never actually been attracted to him. I fake everything, every compliment, every intimate moment, every I love you, but he's such a loyal provider. I'd be stupid to leave. That was my wife's voice. I was standing in our backyard when I heard her say it during a therapy session. She didn't know I was home early. She didn't know I was within earshot. She didn't know that what she said would be the last time I'd ever look at her the same way again. When she finally realized I was standing there, just outside the patio door, her face didn't show fear or guilt. It wasn't sadness, it was irritation, like I had interrupted her while she was in the middle of something trivial. That expression will stick with me forever. I'm not someone who normally shares personal stuff online. I'm 42, been married to Kelsey, 39, for almost 15 years. We have 2 kids, ages 13 and 11. I'm a civil engineer, not exactly living some wild, thrilling life, but I've always taken pride in being reliable, solid, the one who kept things together. We had the house in the suburbs, took vacations every summer, built up college funds. I thought we were doing okay, maybe not perfect, but stable. I guess I was wrong. 4 weeks ago, I came home earlier than planned after a job site wrapped up ahead of schedule. I thought I'd surprise her, maybe pick up the kids early and grab dinner out. Just a nice change of pace. As I pulled into the garage, I heard Kelsey's voice floating down from our upstairs bedroom window. It was cracked open, and she was talking loudly. At first I assumed it was a casual call with her sister. Then I remembered, Thursdays at 2 p.m. That's her regular therapy session. She's been seeing a therapist, Dr. Matthews, for about 8 months. Said she wanted to focus on herself, work through some personal stuff. I supported it completely. Mental health is important. Still, something about her tone stopped me from going inside through the garage door like usual. Instead, I walked quietly along the side of the house and out to the backyard where I could hear her more clearly through the patio doors. Her voice was steady, too steady. To be honest, Dr. Matthews, she said, I've never actually been attracted to him, not even in the beginning. He checked all the boxes, stable, dependable, wanted kids, but there's never been a spark. Not once in 15 years. I froze. My brain couldn't process it. I stood there trying to convince myself she wasn't talking about me. Maybe it was a hypothetical or something from her past. But then she kept going. I fake everything. Every compliment, every intimate moment, every I love you. I've gotten really good at it. Honestly, Oscar-worthy. But he's such a loyal provider, I'd be insane to leave him. Especially with the kids and the life we have. I mean, where else am I going to find someone who takes care of everything so reliably? That word, reliably, came out like it disgusted her. Somewhere in that moment, I must have made a noise, or maybe she just sensed me, because she suddenly appeared at the patio door. Our eyes locked. She didn't look scared, just annoyed. Then something shifted. I watched her face change, watched her start calculating. I could almost hear her mind working, figuring out what lie to tell, how to spin it. I didn't give her the chance. I stepped up to the glass and said, I heard everything, don't bother. Then I turned and walked away. No suitcase, no packed bags, just my phone and wallet in my pocket. I got in my car and drove off. I drove without a destination at first. Eventually ended up checking into a hotel downtown. I turned off my phone and just sat there on the edge of the bed for what must have been 6 straight hours, staring at the wall, not thinking, not crying, just blank. 15 years. 15 years of my life, shared routines, inside jokes, small arguments, quiet nights on the couch. All of it felt like a lie now. On her side, at least, I kept running it over in my head, trying to remember any moment, any flicker of something genuine. It all felt tainted, and then I thought about the kids. That's what finally snapped me out of the fog. I had to figure out how to handle things for them, what to say, what not to say, what not to say. I called my brother sometime after midnight and told him everything. No drama, no judgment, just come stay with us for a few days. His wife even had the guest room ready by the time I got there the next morning. By noon that same day, I had called a divorce lawyer. I never contacted Kelsey directly. Everything went through my attorney. 2 days later, I went back to the house while she was out at her yoga class. I packed a few clothes and grabbed what I needed. Left her a short note saying I'd be in touch only through legal channels from now on. That weekend, I arranged to meet the kids at the park. I kept it simple, told them mom and dad were having grown-up problems, but that we both loved them more than anything. The kind of talk no kid should have to hear. But I tried to keep it calm, reassuring. Meanwhile, Kelsey had already started her campaign. At first, it was text after text. Then came the missed calls. I never answered. Then came the emails. Subject lines like, "Please read this," or "You're destroying our family," or "I didn't mean it." When none of that got a response, she escalated. She started reaching out to people we both knew. Friends, neighbors, even my co-workers. My dentist. For God's sake. The message was always the same, that I'd misunderstood. That she was just working through things in therapy. That the words I heard weren't really how she felt. I started keeping a mental tally. After a while I stopped, but I know she's made over 100 attempts to contact me, either directly or through someone else. More than 100 different ways of trying to make me doubt what I clearly, unmistakably heard. And the worst part, some people are buying it. My own mom called me last week, suggested maybe I should just hear Kelsey out. That marriage takes effort. That everyone has doubts sometimes. Everyone has doubts sometimes. Is that what we're calling this? Pretending for 15 years, faking every touch, every word of love. My lawyer says I'm doing everything by the book. The divorce is in motion. It'll probably take 6 to 8 months to finalize, given how it works in our state. The temporary custody setup we're proposing is a 50-50 split, which absolutely guts me. The thought of my kids spending half their lives in a house where one parent was lying the whole time. But they love her. And despite everything, I do believe she loves them. That's one thing I don't think was fake. I found a month-to-month apartment near my brother's place. It's small, quiet. I go to work. I eat when I remember. I sleep when I can. I still haven't cried. Not once. Maybe I'm still in shock. Or maybe it's just all dried up. Yesterday I ran into one of Kelsey's close friends at the grocery store. She cornered me near the frozen foods aisle and said Kelsey was falling apart, that she's a wreck, that she's full of regret, said she's never seen her so broken. Then she asked me if I could, at the very least, talk to her. I looked her right in the eye and said, "I've heard enough from Kelsey to last me a lifetime." Then I walked away. The hardest part of this, harder than the betrayal, harder than the deception, is the not knowing. I keep wondering what was ever real. Our wedding day, the moment each of our kids were born, the little traditions we built, Friday movie nights, road trips, lazy Sundays, were those just scenes in a performance? Did she ever truly feel anything during all that time? I'll never get an answer to that. And that uncertainty has hollowed me out more than anger or heartbreak ever could. Strangely, I don't feel hatred toward her. I don't even feel rage. Just emptiness. Like someone scooped out everything inside me and left a shell going through the motions. I get up, I go to work, I smile when my kids are around, but it's mechanical. There's no spark, no weight behind anything I do or say. And honestly, if you're still reading this, thank you. I didn't write this for sympathy. I didn't even know what I hoped to get out of it. Maybe I just needed a place to release it all. Update. 6 weeks since the original post. Things have escalated in ways I couldn't have predicted. The contact attempts haven't stopped. I gave up trying to keep count of individual texts and emails. But Kelsey has now tried to reach me through at least 30 different people. Friends, neighbors, mutual acquaintances, even some of the parents from our kids' school, all of them relaying the same message, that she didn't mean what she said, that I misunderstood, that I should give her a chance to explain. 2 weeks ago, she showed up at my office. Didn't make a scene, thankfully, but she wouldn't leave right away either. My receptionist had to tell her, firmly, that I wasn't available. My boss, who thankfully has been through his own nasty divorce, was understanding. Still, I felt humiliated. Dragging this mess into my workplace was something I never wanted. Then came the real shocker. Her parents showed up at my brother's house, completely unannounced. Luckily, I'd already moved into my apartment by then, but they sat down with my brother and tried to convince him that I was blowing everything out of proportion, that I was being too harsh, that I was giving up on something beautiful. He didn't sugarcoat it. He told them exactly what I heard. Word for word. They left looking like the floor had dropped out from under them. After talking with both my lawyer and a child psychologist, I agreed to a few joint sessions with Kelsey, not to patch things up, but strictly to work on co-parenting, because our kids, they're hurting. Bad. My son asked me last night when I'd be coming home, not if, when. He doesn't understand yet that this isn't temporary, that the life we all shared has split down the middle, that I'm not coming back. My daughter has gone quiet, not cold, just silent. She's always been the more sensitive one, and I can see her carrying the weight of this even if she can't say it. With both our permission, they're now seeing a therapist who specializes in helping kids handle divorce. It's not cheap, but worth every penny if it helps them process this without blaming themselves. I finally broke and sent Kelsey a message. Not a call, I couldn't handle her voice. Just a long, structured email. I told her exactly what I heard, that I didn't misinterpret it, that there's no gray area. I asked her, again, to stop reaching out, to stop dragging everyone else into this, and to focus on our kids. Her reply was a whole new kind of clarity. It started with denial, as usual. You heard it wrong, then a pivot. Even if I said those things, they weren't really about you. Then the blame, you never gave me the emotional support I needed. I had to find ways to cope, so now apparently, it's my fault she lied for 15 years. But what truly sealed everything? The final paragraph of her email. I know I can make you happy if you just give me another chance. I know exactly what you need. Not I love you. Not I realize what I almost lost. Just that. Another scripted promise. Another act she's willing to perform. Through our lawyers, we finalized a temporary custody plan. The kids would stay at the family home with Kelsey during the school week. Our district lines made it simpler that way. They'd be with me every weekend and on Wednesday evenings for dinner. I'm still contributing to the mortgage, at least until we decide whether to sell the house or one of us buys the other out. It's not ideal, but I want to keep things as consistent as possible for the kids. They've had enough disruption. Some days feel manageable, others hit like a freight train. There are these weird moments when muscle memory takes over. I'll reach for my phone to share something funny with her, something only she would get, then I remember. And it all comes crashing down. My brother says I'm running on autopilot. He's not wrong, but I can't fall apart. Not right now. The kids need one steady parent. Looks like that's always been me. To those who reached out with kind words after my first post, thank you. Truly, knowing I'm not crazy for drawing a hard line has helped more than I can say. As for Kelsey, she got what she wanted in the most ironic way possible. I'm still providing, still supporting the lifestyle, still showing up for the kids, still reliable, but she lost the one thing she took for granted. Me. The performance is over. I'm no longer in the audience. Final update, 6 months later. This is the last time I'll talk about this. After this, I'm logging off and moving forward. The divorce is progressing, not finalized yet due to the state's mandatory waiting period and some financial loose ends, but we're close. The temporary custody schedule has worked well enough that we're including it in the final agreement. Weekdays with her, weekends and Wednesday dinners with me. There's something I noticed recently, something both heartbreaking and oddly validating. When the kids first started coming to my apartment, they were tense, cautious, like they were tiptoeing around something invisible. It took me a few weeks to understand why. They're more relaxed with me than they are at home. My son mentioned almost in passing that they never really know which version of their mom they're going to get. Sometimes she's upbeat and affectionate. Other times she's distant, irritable, hard to read. With me, what they see is what they get. Every time consistency, stability, the same qualities she mocked now make me the parent they feel safe with. Kelsey started seeing someone new, a guy from her gym apparently. My daughter mentioned it casually one night over pizza, like it wasn't a big deal, and the strange thing is, I felt absolutely nothing. Not jealousy, not anger, not relief, just nothing. If anything, I pity the guy. The flood of contact attempts has finally trickled down to occasional messages, holidays, birthdays, kids' events. Her most recent move was having her sister hand-deliver a handwritten letter. I gave it back, still sealed. Whatever new part she's written for herself, I don't want to hear it. I've started therapy. Turns out spending 15 years married to someone who was acting the whole time does some damage. My therapist says I've got trust trauma, which sounded like therapy speak at first, but it's dead on. Every time someone compliments me or says they care, there's this instant pit in my stomach. I wonder if they're just playing a role too. Work's been my anchor. I've thrown myself into it, and somehow it's paid off. Got a promotion I didn't even ask for. My boss pulled me aside and said he was impressed, and a little worried that I never stop working. He's probably right. But honestly, it's better than sitting alone in my apartment, running through old memories like a bad movie reel. I haven't started dating, can't even imagine it. The idea of being vulnerable again makes me sick to my stomach. Maybe someday, what I keep circling back to is how preventable all of this was. If Kelsey had been honest, even once we could have faced it together. Maybe we'd still have separated, but it could have been clean, respectful, without this kind of fallout. Instead, she built our life on a stage, acting day after day, year after year. There's no big lesson here, no inspirational takeaway, just a man in his 40s, trying to rebuild, trying to be the kind of father his kids can depend on, trying to figure out who he is now, that the life he thought he had has vanished. If you're going through something like this, here's all I can say. Trust yourself, trust what you know. And remember this, it's better to be alone than to live your life as someone else's background character. We'll all be okay, just not together.